Hello, this is William with Rome Well Adventures. Today we're going to talk about the importance of making everyday memories matter. Just a few weeks ago, had the opportunity to spend 8 days at Pensacola Beach. Great vacation. But here's the thing. Everyday adventures are not like vacations. They're not like weekend getaways. We loved our 8 days in Florida. Spent most days fishing, caught everything except sharks, enjoyed the sunrise, the sunsets, the great seafood. And if you're ever wanting to get away for a vacation in the panhandle of Florida, I highly recommend it. But getting back on point, the reality is every day can't be a day at the beach. And it's so easy in the daily grind of getting up and taking care of business to lose sight of the incredible journey that exists in the everyday. Some of my best memories are sitting right here in this chair, cold drink, enjoying the close of a day, throwing the ball for a German Shepherd, watching him chase squirrels, just unwinding. And sometimes that's all it takes to make a meaningful memory, is just finding a way to launch your day and land your day in a meaningful way. But how can you get better at making everyday memories matter? In my counseling practice, I often ask my clients early on what this quote means to them. And what I ask them is this: everybody ends up somewhere. Very few people end up somewhere on purpose. Now I want to give you a moment, let you think about what that quote means to you, and I'll say it again. Everybody ends up somewhere. Very few people end up somewhere on purpose. In my experience, what this quote reflects is that most people wake up, start the day, and hope it's going to be a good day. Or they hope things get better with time. Or they hope one day they can find a way to be happy, or find a way to fall in love again, or find a way to make more money. The reality is, we get better at making memories and building a better life when we are committed to doing three things. We build a better life when we are committed to being present, to being strategic, to being intentional in our everyday lives. So let's talk about this for a moment. First thing I want to talk about is being present. And all that means is when you come home at the end of the day, put your phone away. Put your phone away until you've interacted with your partner, with the kids, until you've had supper, maybe until the kids are going to bed, or until your partner starts to get ready for bed. Being present is learning how to slow down. It's hard to make a meaningful memory when you're always rushing through your day, or you're rushing to take care of the next responsibility. Another thing that we can do to be present is to practice mindfulness. And it's a word that's used a lot, and a lot of people don't understand exactly what it means. But let me just give you a simple illustration for how I practice mindfulness. Every morning, I brew a cup of coffee, and I thoroughly enjoy savoring the aroma and the flavor of that first cup of coffee in the morning. Now, I have had thousands of cups of coffee, but on a regular basis, if you were sitting in the chair with me with that first cup of coffee, you're going to hear me say something like, "Oh, that is a great cup of coffee." Let me let you in on a little secret. When you're practicing mindfulness, And the reason it's so important to develop this habit is memories are more meaningful when we're able to attach smells and sounds and touch to the memory. I'll give you an example. Way back when, the first time my girlfriend, now wife, made her mother's famous manicotti, I proposed. It was wonderful. And now I'd already had a ring. It wasn't that she made the manicotti and I thought, oh, I got to marry this girl so she doesn't get away. I knew at some point I was going to marry her. But on that night, I couldn't help but propose. And what's funny is over the years, whenever she makes it, and she doesn't make it very often because it takes a lot of work, but every time she makes it, she and I will talk about how I proposed when she made the manicotti. In fact, the boys talk about how this is what Mama made the night you proposed. In fact, this is how you take a simple everyday memory and you turn it into Marry Me manicotti. The second thing that we can do to learn how to make everyday memories matter is be more intentional with your record keeping. In other words, I'm talking about journaling more. I'm talking about sitting around the table and having a conversation with your family and the kids about their good, their bad, their hero moments in the day. And you know, it's easy to understand what a good moment is, a bad moment. But our hero moments are just those things that happened in the course of a day that make you feel proud of what you said or what you did. So let me illustrate how journaling and reflecting can be so important to making everyday memories matter. If you were to come to my office and tell me, William, help me be a better dad, I would have you do two things. The first thing I would have you do is wake up in the morning and think about what you need to focus on today to be a better dad. It might mean you need to provide more verbal affirmations. It might mean you need to show up. It might mean you need to get in the middle of the living room floor and wrestle with the kids. Whatever that is, you're going to think about that as you start your day. And then at the end of the day, I'm going to have you write down what worked and what didn't work. And when you think about what happened in the course of the day that didn't work to help you be a better dad, I'm going to have you write out what you're going to do the next day to do better. This is what helps us rewire our brain and not only make everyday memories matter, but become the person we want to be and therefore build the life that we want to build. Third thing that we can do is be creative and spontaneous. And then tell somebody about your experience. Everyday things become more meaningful, and we're able to craft a more meaningful experience when we include creativity and spontaneity, and then maybe we share that story with humor with someone else. And it's so easy to miss opportunities. Yesterday, my wife and I, when we decided to film the first video, we drove to Medicine Park, this great little community in the Wichita Mountains. You can swim in the river. There's art stores. There's little restaurants, all these mom and pop places to hang out. And my intention was to drive over there, shoot the video, and then just hang out and enjoy the rest of the day. We've never shot a video before. It's a lot of work. There were lots of distractions and it was hard trying to figure out the lighting. And when it was all said and done, my wife said, hey, what if we just drive down the road and stop at Sonic? And that's what we did. We drove to Sonic and we split a chicken fried steak sandwich meal. Now, here's the thing. It wasn't a waste of a day. It didn't work out the way that I wanted to, but when I think about the next time we go, I will be more intentional and I will do a better job planning. And here's the thing, even though it might feel like a missed opportunity, and even though we've had dozens and dozens of chicken fried sandwiches from Sonic, it's still made for a great memory because I'm talking to you about it right now, and she and I talked about it. So, how do we get better at making everyday memories matter? We're present. We're more intentional with our record keeping, and we're open to being more creative and spontaneous, and we're going to be sure to tell others about those experiences. So, if you have benefited from today's episode, if you would please do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, talk about some of your experiences in the comments so we in the community can benefit from your stories and learn from your experience. In the next episode, we're going to continue to talk about why memory making is so important. But we're also going to talk about how you can get better at creating meaningful memories. With that, let me leave you with a final thought, and it's this. We may not be able to add more days to our life, but we can add more life to our days. So remember this, roam well and keep working to make everyday memories matter. Until next time.